Many think of Osho as a sex guru, but few realize that one of his first defining acts of spiritual opening and power was that he jumped into a raging river in full speed and swam across. You are in conversation with spiritual visionaries Tarun and Celia Cherian, co-founders, creators, child, and Devatara healing. Today we're going to talk about storm rituals, about opening oneself up to the power of the storm. We're going to be talking about becoming stronger healers, about becoming stronger intuitives, about becoming truer children of the divine. It has been pouring, thundering, winds whipping across in many parts of South India and Bangalore. And so the question really is, how many of us went out in the rain and meditated? How many danced with the rain? How many felt the power of the storm, the living power of the storm? How many befriended it? Merely the act of standing out in the rain makes us come incredibly alive. We're exploding with life. Or our senses or our wings are opening up. You're becoming ever so much more. You're beginning to listen to the rhythms of the storm, to the rhythms of the wind. And in that particular storm, this particular storm, we're seeing not just shifts, heat somewhere near Australia, a kind of a uplifting energy near the Middle East, but also as if some ionic storm is surrounding the earth herself. And if we start talking the language of a mystic and seeing this as alive and living in real, we see that there is a deep anguish, a deep hurt happening somewhere near Bengal. That's being expressed out here. So as we start going out into the rain, we're opening up to a greater being. Many who talk God today, influenced by some religions, talk about peace and love and joy. But few speak of the other aspect of God, the primal aspect of God, and that is cataclysmic fury, untrammeled joy. And as God tells us, I am untamed. Only by throwing off your shackles can you reach the true force. Now, psychically speaking, when most people talk about water, they would point to the direction of the south. But in this particular storm, its direction was actually northwest. Now, that's not the location of where the storm originated in human terms, but that is its psychic force or psychic position. That is its elemental alignment. Now, in any storm ritual, rain ritual, you will essentially be walking out in some sense to the rain. If you don't have access to a balcony, then stand near a window. You're feeling the rain. You're not sitting safely inside, you're feeling the rain. You're feeling the power. And that, above all, is the first step that you need to do. So even if you're just going out to your balcony or going out onto the street below, and you're standing out there and lowering your umbrella deliberately, you are doing an act of power. Next, you will decide which direction to start facing. Each storm is different. You will allow your body to slowly move to that place where the storm is originating. Now, if you wish to make it into a dance, as I did, not that you have to, you welcome the power of the storm. You welcome the intelligence of the storm. You welcome the message that the storm contains. And you pull it towards you. Now, I'm using gestures that are almost dance-like, almost snaky, but you can use whatever gestures that you prefer. Strong, heavy, that's up to you. As you do that, you may wish to ask yourself, who is it that is receiving the power of the storm? Who is it that is calling it in? And that's when you realize that you may do what a lot of Chinese shamans have done. You define what animal you are. You may call yourself an eagle, a crane, or you may turn around and say, no, I'm a fish, a shark, a crocodile, a whale. Or you may talk about being a bear or a lion. That's the second aspect. The third aspect is the actual movement. Now, every storm, every act of nature has a particular movement that you either want to go with or go against. So this storm had a circular motion. It swirled around. And so you could, as I did, move with the storm and gather the energy around. You may gather the energy for yourself, or actually you may allow it to circulate in the consciousness of man himself or herself. You then start using specific points which allow you to understand the storm and be the storm. Now, most of us are sitting in our heads. But that's at the lowest level. If you really want to understand or feel the storm from a very deep place, you need to use some point. It could be the feet, it could be the knees, it could be your abdomen. So for example, in this particular rain, the abdomen was a lovely point to gather the force. Why? Because a lot of the storm dealt with the passions and feelings and anguishes and hurts and rages of a number of creatures. Yes, including man. It also included the rage and wandering of a being you may call an archangel. I have been talking for a while. And you will watch the video of me dancing to the storm. given you an example of how I responded to the storm. I now give you a very simple gift. A little bit of the energy of the storm I will be blowing at you. Are you ready? Close your eyes and relax. I'm blowing the energy to you, and at first awakening the memories of power that you once experienced. But with that power, we're reminding you of the deep goodness that lies in each of us. About 4 of you are listening to it deeply, another 10 with passing interest, another 50 with some interest, and 3 or 4 with fear. Do not be afraid. Very gently, to a very minor extent, touched your spirit. We're now calming you down. Because for some, it'll have the effect of pushing your body out of your body. And you may never be able to come back. So we're drawing you back now, back into your body. Not as prisoner returning, but as a child who's coming back home very gleefully after going out to a lovely festival, a carnival. Thank you for watching. Thank you for experiencing. Thank you for sharing this video. We would like you to visit creatorschild.com. But more importantly, we thank you for sharing the aliveness of your spirit to becoming a node of the cosmic. Thank you for subscribing to our channel, visiting creatorschild.com, and growing with God.